Hello. Okay, so today our objective is readers will make inferences and use evidence to support understanding, as well as schema, which you already know. Okay, so you're going to need your mini lesson. You're going to need your reader's response notebook just to look at our making inferences anchor chart, okay? But specifically, so you're gonna need this out. You're not gonna write in your notebook today. You just need it out, okay? So you specifically need this bottom part. So if you have not written this, make sure to write this in your making inferences anchor chart, okay? So specifically, we're going to use this bottom part that says, how can we talk and write about inferences? But if you need help on what inferences are, you can use these up here, or you can look back up on here. But specifically, this part, okay? So we're going to continue using inferences, talking about inferences. So let's review real quick how we can talk and write about inferences. Okay, so first bullet point, I infer that, and here we would write or state your inference, okay? And I'm going to model that in a bit with a question. And second bullet point, I think this because on page number, the text explains, and then here you would write either paraphrased or word for word text support. Okay, so here we just put text support, but you could also the text support that you could use here could either be paraphrased or word for word. Okay, so what paraphrase means is basically in your own words. Okay, so that's what paraphrased means. So text support in your own words. Okay, word for word, it means copying directly from the passage, from the sentence, from the book. Okay, word for word, copying it. Again, paraphrase means in your own words. Word for word means basically copying it straight from the text. Okay, and then from my background knowledge, I know that, and here you would write in that blank, or after from my background knowledge, I know that, you would write, how has life experience helped you come to this inference? So you would write things from your personal experience, something that you have witnessed, something that you have seen in your 11, 12 years of life, however old you are, something that you might have seen in a movie, something that you in a TV show, maybe in a song, anything from your personal experience that you know that you have acquired your background knowledge over a specific topic that can help you make your inference. Okay, so we just reviewed this. Now we're going to I'm going to model how you are going to answer 3 questions. So you're going to answer 3 questions for me. Let me make sure it's 3. Yeah, so 3 questions. And this first question you're not going to do, but I'm going to model it for you to show you how I want you to answer these questions. Okay, so first question, make an inference. Why did Yadi get up and move? Okay, and here you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. These are not questions, these are lines. So just like sometimes on your exams, on maybe a poem, you sometimes see numbers off to the side and you have questions about a certain number. So here with these numbers, these numbers are here to help us write. So instead of writing, I think this because on page number, you would write, I think this because on line number. So line number, okay? And I'll show you, I'll model that for you in a second. So that's why there are numbers here to the side. Okay, so but our question is, my question for myself that I'm going to answer right now is, why did Yadi get up and move? So let me grab a paper and show you how I want you to answer this question. Okay, so to answer this question, I'm going to I'm going to make sure I am restating the question in my inference. So the question was, why did Yadi get up and move? Let me read you what the prompt is. It says, I walked to the cafeteria for lunch. I got my food tray and looked for a place to sit. I found my friend Yadi and sat next to her. Yadi got up immediately and sat with someone else. Why? So my inference has to be about why did Yadi get up and move. Okay? So I have to restate the question. Let me see. Okay. So I have to write down here. I'm going to write it off. So just you can either write it on a piece of paper and upload the image, or you can just type your answer in the Canvas text entry box. Okay, either one is fine. Just make sure you upload your responses. Okay, so you're going to have 3 of these to answer. So let me show you how I want you to answer it. So you have to make sure you use all 3 of these down here. I infer that, I think this because on line number, and from my background knowledge, I know that. Okay, all 3 of them for each one of these. Okay, all 3 for each one of these. Okay, so just think 3, 3. All right, so I'm going to rewrite the question using this first one. I infer that. Okay, this first one, I infer that. So, let me move this up real quick. So, I infer that. I infer that Yadi got up and moved because she was mad. I infer that she moved, stood up, got up, and moved because she was mad. Because she was mad at her. Okay. All right, so that's the first bullet point, right? That's our first bullet point here on our anchor chart. Now we're going to write our text support, our clues from the text as to why I believe that she is mad. Okay, so clues from the text using I think this because I'm going to use on line number because there are no pages. So second one, I think that, or I think this because on line, and then here I'm going to write the number on line, let's see, on line number 4, right? I see here that on line number 4, Yadi got up immediately and sat with someone else. So, like I said, with this, I think this because on line or page, we can write text support, paraphrased, or word for word. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of paraphrasing. So maybe in my own words, or you could write it word for word, okay? So I think this because on line 4, the text explains that Yadi, she said, got up immediately. So I'm going to say, paraphrase in my own words, Yadi stood up fast. I'm paraphrasing, writing it in my own words. And stood up fast and, let's see, went to sit with another person. Okay? Because it's not word for word what it says here. Yadi got up immediately and sat with someone else. I just wrote it in my own words. Okay? I wrote what line 4 says in my own words. Or you can word for word write it. Okay? And then on the last one, you're going to use from my background knowledge, I know that, or from my personal experiences, because we're using our schema now, what we already know. So I'm going to write from my background knowledge, I know that, and I know that from my background knowledge, I know that when one of my friends, so this is, remember, these are your personal experiences, or what you already know, your schema. When one of my friends is mad at me, one of my friends is mad at me, they ignore me, or don't talk to me, and don't want to sit by me. So this last one would be things that have happened to you, okay? Something that might have happened to you, or something that you could have seen in a movie, something you could have seen in a TV show, or or something that you have seen happen to someone else, okay? But it's basically you using something that is not in the text directly, that you have seen that connects with this, but that you have experienced or you have seen someone else experience, okay? Anything from your background knowledge, your schema. All right, so this is how I want you to answer all 3 of the questions, making sure you restate the question in your inference and stating your inference, right? Making sure you say your inference. You're making sure you're writing evidence text support and using your background knowledge. So all 3 questions. I have posted all 3 questions in this Canvas assignment, and I'm also going to go through them right now just to read it to you so you can hear it verbally or orally, okay? So the 3 questions that you're just going to, like I said, you can either write it on a piece of paper like this and upload a picture of your paper, or you can type it in Canvas, okay? So either one is fine, just make sure you submit it. Okay, so I'm going to read to you the 3 questions. Again, you don't have to do this one. This was just for me to model it for you. This was just me for, this question was just for me to show you how I want you to answer all 3 of them using those 3 sentences, okay? Those 3 sentence starters, 3 sentence stems. All right, so first question I want you to answer is this one. So make an inference. Why did Gemma scrunch up her face? Okay? My cousin Gemma, see this first line says, my cousin Gemma is so cute. She is 2.5 now and loves to try new foods. One day we were eating dill pickles and my cousin wanted to try one. As soon as she took a bite, her face scrunched up and she shook her head quickly. So make sure whenever you're answering this question, you are restating the question. So you would say, I infer that Gemma scrunched up her face because, and you would make your inference, okay? And then you have to make sure you're answering the other 2, or you're using the other 2 sentence stems. So you would say, I think this because on line number, whatever line you want to use, you can use all 3 of them, or all 4 of them. You can use 2. You can use however many you want to answer, or to answer the question, to say your reference, or to say your inference. Okay, and then make sure you do. From my background knowledge, I know that. What do you know about this? What do you know about when you eat dill pickles? What do you know? Okay? And then, second question, make an inference. Why did the dog lick the dad's face? My dad parked in the driveway exhausted after a long day at work. He locked his car and opened the front door of our house. Our dog jumped and licked my dad's face as soon as I opened the door. Oh, sorry. That needs to say as soon as he opened the door. As soon as he opened the door. Okay? So instead of I, it should say he. So, okay? So make sure you're restating the question. I infer that the dog licked the dad's face because, okay? So why do you, what's your inference? Then last question, make sure you're writing all 3 sentence stems, okay? I just gave you the first one. Make an inference. Last question, make an inference. What is the event? Okay, one by one, our guests come to the house. They handed us presents, which we placed on the table next to the cake. When it was 6, it was time to hide and wait for my dad. He was going to be so surprised. Okay, so you're going to say, I infer that the event is, okay, and you would state your inference. So make sure with this one, don't just say what day it could be. Say what type of event, okay? What is the type of event that people would do all of these things, okay? So, make sure to do all 3 questions, all these 3 questions. I'm going to put them in Canvas, and you either upload a picture of your paper or type it in the entry box, okay? Have a great day.